Thank you for joining in on Beyond the Sex Talk. My name's Lisa. My goal is to provide non-judgmental, sex-positive knowledge and skills so that individuals can make healthy, confident sexual decisions. Carrying on with our theme this month of masturbation, did you know masturbation is good exercise? You're actually strengthening your pelvic floor muscles while you're masturbating, and later on, when you're conducting sexual activities, it allows you to have more control of not just the muscles, but also your orgasms. So masturbation is not just good exercise, it's good self-care, self-pleasure. But how do we all start off with this self-pleasure? Well, it begins with arousal. And how do we arouse ourselves? Well, our greatest tool is our mind. Our imagination can create wonderful fantasies, and those fantasies start to stimulate us. That's what causes our arousal. And then we go off from there, touching ourselves and exploring how and more of what makes us happy. So let's talk about fantasies. All fantasies are usually okay. It's because it's in our mind. We can fantasize about anything. We explore what we normally wouldn't do in reality. We explore maybe certain fantasies that could never happen in reality, but they cause us to feel good. And that's okay, as long as we understand the difference between fantasy and reality. If fantasies begin to go against our ethics and our morals and start to cause an uncomfortable situation, this is also a great moment to check in with ourselves. To ask ourselves, is this really what I ethically and morally choose and want to be and want to do? And if it starts being uncomfortable, that there is a place, there's people like counselors and therapists that you can talk about and try to work through those issues so that you can get back to where you want to be. So basically, that's also asking for people to put in practice some check-ins. We'll talk more about that later. Let's get on to more of, hey, we have the power in our mind through fantasies, but I get a lot of questions asking about, is watching pornography bad? And why do I like pornography so much? So let's talk about pornography. Pornography is any material that is used or intended to arouse sexual desire in a person. And there's a variety of those materials. For some people, it's X-rated videos. For others, it can be dirty novels or photos. Whatever that material is for you, that's what pornography is, to strike that arousal, that desire. Now, the intensity of all of that material is, again, individualistic. Some people really like high intense videos of hardcore porn. Others, it's very subtle, and we can have soft erotica scenarios that are pleasurable. If you're noticing that I'm really very broad on the spectrum, it's because pornography, fantasies, masturbation, it's all individualistic. It's private time. It's you. You're in control of your mind. You're in control of your hands, and it's your control. Now, if you like to invite a partner in that time, in that space, that's your control as well. And just understand that they also have their own individual pleasures and intensities and ways about masturbation. Now, it's pornography, it's about stimulating, but it can also be about being curious. And that's also sometimes where it all begins with pornography. Young people find themselves curious about what this X-rated video is, or what's so wrong about pornography. But porno can become a problem. And let's touch a little bit upon this. Majority of pornography is like mass media. We have actors, we have makeup and editing. It's an unrealistic body or scenario or approaches that we are creating. It's like creating a movie for that matter. And all of that can cause problems with how we perceive that pornography and how we then want to apply it to reality. It's causing expectations. And that's where we can catch a bit of ourselves wanting this perfect scenario that has been created multiple times in editing, and then we want that and it's not happening. And then we can start developing unhappiness, anger, and it's not just towards ourselves, it could be towards our partners. So these unrealistic either approaches, unrealistic bodies, unrealistic relationships that are portrayed in pornography can really be problematic, especially when it comes down to young people who have never experienced such sexual activities before. And they may think that, oh wow, this looks really great here, let's just go out and do it, and not realize that many of the sexual activities in pornography have a lot of setup and care, and they have also cleanup and practices that are not even shown on the video. So this is one type of problem. Another type of problem, and it goes to that question of going, why do I like pornography so much? It's because pornography, like we stated in the beginning, it's intended to strike arousal. That's great. But that stimulation that's occurring in our brain and our bodies, it sends off such a powerful, happy chemical in our body that we want more of it. And then we want more of it. And then we want more of it. And we need to understand that it's that chemical, that stimulation, that overstimulation that's happening in our brain that actually causes us to be addicted to it and can be addicted to it. So again, this is where we need to practice check-ins. Am I watching pornography so much that it's causing me to change my daily routine? Am I watching so much pornography that I am no longer taking the responsibilities that I have seriously or shoving them aside? I just want to focus on pornography. Is it causing me to now avoid eating or social interactions? Unhealthy practices are developing. If there's a yes to any of those questions, then there is an addiction, there is a problem, and seeking help is okay. There are many counselors and therapists that are out there to help people get through that addiction to the stimulation that is happening in our mind. So in all, when it comes down to masturbation and the beginning part of self-pleasure through arousal, really our power is in our mind through fantasy. And it's okay to watch pornography if that's what you want, if that's the variety of material out there that can help arouse you. It's all up to you. It's your choice, your mind, your hands, your private time. So that ends off our session today. And I am going to ask, if you want to know more, you can always subscribe below for next videos. You can go to my Facebook and my Instagram with all other topics that I do discuss. And you can always email me with any questions that you also have. And I will try and answer them right here on Beyond the Sex Talk. Till next time.